these wars before they happen.
Synchronicity threshold crossed at 0100 hours. General, some bad business going down.
Break it into components, Hack.
Epicenter Premier 1. Millions from Swiss bank accounts are flooding the region. And 2, an unknown military force pops up.
You've linked the money to those troops?
Could I prove it in court? No. Do I know it's a link? Yes.
Keep going.
They also pumping tons of funky ex-Soviet hardware into a terrorist training camp. And finally, we got a signal from our missing pilot, Nick Arnold.
I buy it. You've got a crisis. Andrea.
The obvious candidate is Yuri Vatsisnov, former head of the KGB and the real shadow man behind this conspiracy. We're running worst-case projections, but as always, our main objective is to stop this war before it happens.
StrikeNet will download additional intel as needed.
Sorry to interrupt. Now I don't make the news, I just report it. We got a problem.
Which is?
A mothballed Soviet fleet is making for the Black Sea.
It's Grand Theft aircraft carrier, and Vladimir Ceausescu will be behind it.
Shadow Man implicated.
Yeah, it looks like it. Now I followed the missing rubles. He's buying mercenary forces and hiring Yahoo generals. Vlad pops a nuke, and Soviet hardliners are swept back in to restore order.
So with the Russian army demoralized and the West too timid to wade in, Shadow Man runs the show. What assets do you show in that area?
Just one, a dock worker named Ahmad. Now he's ex-SAS, but his cover's ethnic Russian.
Commander, stop those ships before we hit the Black Sea. Fail, and we go strategic.
Iraqi forces are invading southern Russia, and it looks like they're converging. I just don't know where. Uh-oh, yes I do. An ex-Soviet chemical weapons plant.
Good. We've been hoping for another crack at General Sidisivak.
No doubt he will use those weapons, and Shadow Man will be sure Moscow gets full credit.
Commander, you'll have allies all around that mountain fortress. But if it falls, there'll be nothing but sand between that madman and chemical weapons. And remember, if you do not think, you will not win.
Right, this is Nick Arnold. I'm being held in some old Soviet sanitarium. Get me out of here quick before the Shadow Man gets back to me.
Got him. He's in the heart of Transylvania.
Isn't that a radiation zone?
Yeah, this place is hot. Touch those radioactive punches, and you'll never need a nightlight.
Sanitarium is a polite term for prison where Mad Dr. Ukrainian keeps people he needs.
Commander, liberate Nick and the patients in that hospital, especially Comrade Ivan Ureliev.
Yeah, Ivan is ex-Soviet air cav, and he's uniquely qualified.
Ivan irradiated himself while dumping sand on Chernobyl, saving millions of lives.
Simple. Ivan defects and snags the core. You dump it in a pit, and we Quaker cruise missiles.
Sounds easy, but button up. This one's a monster. This creature is Villa. Obviously, reports of her death were unfounded.
Shadow Man was just distracting us until his pet arrived.
This third war of liberation throws two puppets together, dragging both nations into chaos.
With those UN peacekeepers caught in the middle.
If Villa seizes the reactor, her rockets will destroy most of Europe.
Her showing up is already making Ukrainians hitting Scud missiles twitch. Watch your butt.
Wrap up this mess, Commander, and head to Moscow. Our worst fears are coming true.
I ditched my chopper, so get up here and extract me from this fleabag hotel. Minutes matter. They've diverted the Mayday parade and tanks are rolling through the streets. A major coup unfolds as we speak. Conspirators include the Russian mob, hardline military, and ex-KGB. We're going to evacuate the Russian cabinet from Tolstoy House before they fall victim to the coup. If you do not succeed in this, nothing we've done so far matters.
This is the probable location of Shadow Man's key offices. Brief them once you've sanitized the site. Don't look back, Commander.
Shadow Man, look back. Release the vulture. The enemy is vulnerable. Checkmate. 3 moves.
Mr. Nick just crossed into the Valley of Death.
I thought Shadow Man was dead.
And I thought StrikeNet was impenetrable.
And he's got Nick striked out.
Well, jam the signal.
You never find Nick's body.
You know the protocol.
Look like our boy Ahmad is delivering the groceries. We pinpointed Vlad on the flagship Kara.
Strike gets one shot of him. The 6th Fleet gets the second one. We don't want war, Commander. Let's get it right the first time.
This is as bad as my first one. April 1962. Special Forces assigned to the CIA. We landed at the Bay of Pigs. Our mission is to overthrow Castro. Fighting was fierce. We knew the Air Force was coming. Problem was they never did. We were all killed or captured. My survival was an embarrassment to the politicians. Luckily, somebody I didn't know brought me home. That was the security czar. He doesn't believe in placing war powers into the hands of politicians. Neither do I.
The end of my enemy, I thank you, Commander. You proved the theory of what information society does to industrial one. Many times invaders come through these mountains and raid, but this time we see truth. Knowledge is power.
It's weird. In the old days, they could actually see and touch the people when they killed them. Nowadays, war's all remote control. It's like playing a game. I mean, sometimes I even expect for the bad guys to get up even after they shot. But they never do.
The old folk tells there's only one sure way to kill a creature who would not die. You have found it, Commander. All the dead in the next world are about to rejoice.
Bad news. Yeltsin isn't here. The cabinet men said he's trapped in the Kremlin Bell Tower, surrounded by 2 forces. Pull him out! Yeltsin airborne. Mission accomplished. We got new orders. Nail the pawns and drag Shadow Man into the light.
The security czar wants this one dark. 1 chopper, 2 pilots.
Sounds like we have 0 chance of asset return.
Skip the euphemisms, Andrea. Let's use the old term. Suicide mission.
You think the commander will do it?
Of course. The bigger the risk, the more enthusiastic he is.
A freak forest fire has swept across a wide section of Crimea early this morning. The flames spread quickly to a local airport and even engulfed a resort villa. Eyewitnesses report seeing pillars of smoke from miles away. Though details are not clear at this time, it appears this disaster was caused by an abandoned campfire. In a resounding affirmation of the New World peace process, today pacifists symbolically scuttled the Soviet mothball fleet located in a small inlet near the Black Sea. The leader of Pax Eternus, or Peace Forever, said in a message to this network that their gesture was one of many to be carried out in celebration of the end of the Cold War. The controversial Iraqi strongman Sadisa Savak is believed dead as a result of a freak automobile accident today. His devoted followers have jammed roads and lit huge funeral pyres to mourn his passing. Most of Transylvania is being hastily evacuated today as a severe case of cow fever spreads throughout this rural community. The deadly disease is forcing the indefinite quarantine of hundreds of square miles. Things are going crazy around here. Move it. There was a minor disruption during Russia's annual May Day parade today as a small earthquake rumbled through the heart of Moscow. No Russian officials were hurt, although some damage was inflicted to the outer walls of the Kremlin. A few buildings and a television tower were destroyed by gas fires. Meanwhile, at the Moscow Zoo, the Russian bears seemed particularly upset by today's unsettling events.
Mr. Yeltsin, I'm not here to debate with you. I'm here to explain how things will work. If you don't want to play ball, I'm sure that the vice chairman will. We've had to deal with this very unpleasant situation before. Trotsky didn't understand, but Lenin did. And what is your answer? I understand.
A defective heating system is blamed for the destruction of an exclusive Crimean health resort. This scenic region of the ex-Soviet Union was engulfed in a massive explosion, and flames have been reported from miles away. It is feared that many vacationing dignitaries of the former superpower were killed in this blast. Analysts predict a power vacuum and civil unrest throughout Russia. Regional leaders expressed concern today over the sudden activation of a mothballed Soviet fleet stationed near the Black Sea. Dozens of warships are steaming into the Mediterranean. The Pentagon will neither confirm nor deny reports that they have just issued a stand-down ultimatum to this naval force. Officials express grave concern over a communications blackout in Central Europe. Unconfirmed reports of a nuclear missile strike on an unidentified Mediterranean city are being frantically investigated. We are closely monitoring this emergency and will bring you a full report as soon as the facts emerge. In what many view as an escalation of tensions around the Caspian Sea, Iraqi strongman Sadisa Savak has issued a new ultimatum. He is calling for holy war within the breakaway republics and threatens the use of sacred weapons of mass terror. Kremlin watchers also report what appears to be a massive shakeup in Russian leadership. Some suggest this may signal the return of hardliners to power for the first time since the collapse of the Soviet Union. Breakaway military factions launched raids today into Transylvania. Fighting was intense throughout the region as... Excuse me. We go now to Transylvania, where the leak of a local reactor is turning into a much larger crisis. Today in the radioactive zone around Transylvania, UN guards continued their patrols. This assignment is so dangerous that all traffic to the area has been diverted. Experts in radioactive half-life predict that this lost legion of troops will remain stationed here well into the next decade.
The crisis here in Russia worsens by the minute. Outside my window you can hear machine guns, and fires rage out of control throughout Moscow. This will be my last broadcast. This is Andrea Gray, signing off.
It was just a simple mission. Strike's covert effort is over. I just hope the world survives what comes next. This is Andrea Gray signing off.
This is Ahmad sending. This is an update. I still elude their donkey clutches. This rust bucket is hidden in a dock somewhere behind metal doors. When ship leaves, I will send you a visual signal to show you my location.
Hack, can you pinpoint him?
Sorry, General, but they put up so much ECM garbage that I couldn't find Russia on the map right now.
Strike. This is Nick Arnold. I've been taken prisoner with several other agents. They're having some not-so-nice Q&A sessions and using the firing squad like it's St. Valentine's Day massacre. Now get us out quick! Or give us a Viking funeral.
Thank you for the rescue, Commander. Mivan Radev, soldier of the world.
Oh, my handsome face. I'm a good soldier underneath. Don't worry. We'll find your friend, Nick. And bring death to his jailers.
Don't worry about me, partner. I'm the shit. I just found me a really cool motorized sled. Oh, see, we got a radio, white walls, anti-tank launchers, all the extras. Do me a little groundwork. I'll catch up with you later.
Strike! This is Nick Arnold. I can transmit, but I cannot receive. I'm being held in some torture chamber from a grade B horror flick. Make that grade C.
Here with the Russian president. We're in grave danger. He's planning to drive. We're being fired at. Cover us while we try and find a way.
I can't tell whether he's the best driver in the world or the worst. Making a run for the airport. Keep us covered.